Hello, and welcome back to the weekly
Disclaimer, videos may be posted in increments of anywhere between 2 days and a year.
Cupcake animatronic update video. This is going to be probably another short one, because I don't really know what to say other than that I'm kind of, I guess, losing motivation to record update videos like these, or to post updates to shorts or anything like that. So, sorry if you were invested in seeing progress on this. I am still making progress, I swear. You may have noticed, if you have eyes, that there are some painted parts on the desk. You may have also noticed that they look like absolute garbage. And the reason for that, I actually don't know if I've posted a short about this yet. Certainly recorded it though. The reason for that is I had access to some paint of what I thought was the right colour the other day on my Thursday. Yeah, it was my Thursday. It turns out it changed colour to be significantly darker when it dried, and you can still see a bit of it up the top. I apparently didn't do nearly a good enough job of sanding these things. It feels fine when you touch it, but the paint reveals all as it happens. So that's been a thing. I've had to sand down the paint in areas. I've been trying to keep as much of the base coat as I can, because that will let me have some, I guess, depth to the colour. But I've had to sand down areas where there were more layer lines visible. I should be able to, hopefully, repaint those again tomorrow-ish. I'm hoping. No promises, though, so, you know. The other thing that I've been working on, this is the bigger thing that I can do in my own time, is when working on an updated PCB. I don't have my PCB down here. I'll go get it. Be right back. Okay, I've got my PCB. So this is the control board that I'm using at the moment for my eyes. Let me just take off this wire. I love that I can use a hex head screwdriver to undo Phillips heads. It's great. So this is the control board that I've been using for the eyes so far. It's got 10 sets of 3-pin headers that I can just plug the servos onto. Two rows of 15 female pin headers, so I can plug an Arduino Nano into the bottom. It just fits on like that. Like that, just plugs in. And it's got some screw terminals at the back so that I can give it power from just a little USB port. It just plugs into USB. The reason I had to make a board for this is, well, I didn't have to, I don't think, but I'm not able to reasonably run the servos off the power from the Arduino. That would cook it. I'm absolutely certain of that. It would cook. So I had to, at first, for a while I was plugging it into a breadboard, but then I realized that, shit, I might be drawing a lot of current through those servos. So I upgraded to this, which should be able to handle a little bit more current. I am honestly kind of dubious about how much it can take, though, so I'm redesigning it. The redesign will have, of course, the Arduino. That's, not really optional. It'll have power coming into it, but instead of having 10 rows of pin headers built onto the board, it will have one of these built onto it. Oop, focus. It'll just be 2x5. This is way more than I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll just be sort of that big. That'll just solder directly onto the board. But that will allow me to have an extension cable that will plug into a PCB in here. So I can solder these onto the board. Solder these onto the board, so that I can solder these onto the board, and just have an extension cable running through, which should be so much easier, I hope. The other thing it will let me do, I've decided to add some extra screw terminals that will let me access the power going into the board, not from powering the servos. I've decided that I might want to try and build a controller, so for that I'll have little pins going into the analog inputs of the Arduino, which, if you don't know, let you use things like joysticks, which use continuously varying voltages instead of just on and off. But obviously to power those you need power, as it happens. So I'm going to have some terminals running out of the side of the board that I can plug into a custom controller whenever I make one. Or if I make one. Not sure if I will. But that's all there is really to say at the moment. That doesn't go in there. That's all there really... Oh, no, it's not, actually. One last little thing to say. I went on a minor spree at my local electronics store, JCar. Very good for buying little components like this. And I figured since trying to limit the current is such a problem, I don't want to have more than the rated current running through the traces on the board, because they are very thin. They can, get pretty hot. So instead, I bought some little fuses. These are designed to pop. I don't know if pop is the right word, but they will blow at 4 amps, which is pretty much exactly what the traces on the new PCB will be able to handle. I think these are a little under 4 amps. But what I thought was really nice is that obviously you can buy the fuse whatever rating you need, but you can also buy a pack of these little clips. Which just solder directly onto your board. And, as the name may imply, you can just clip a fuse into the end of them. Sorry, you can clip the end of a fuse into one of them. So you just stick 2 of those in your board, solder them on, and you're good. So instead of having some big, bulky, fuse receptacle, I guess, you can just have 2 little clips, which I thought was very nice. Just a neat little thing I wanted to mention. Now that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in hopefully less than a week. Bye.